Hello there, guys. Today I am streaming Up from the Dust, a Mission US game. So, yeah. Again, you have to register to play Up from the Dust. So, anyway, let's play online. I'm already logged in, so let's play online. Mission number 5. Alright. Alright. The Great Plow Up. Here we go, the Great Plow Up. Let's start the prologue. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Wait. So let's start the plow up. Here we go. Let's start the Great Plow Up.
Our farm is exactly halfway between Amarillo, Texas and No Man's Land, a part of these United States that nobody seemed to want until the government started giving it away. Back 100 years ago, it was on the Santa Fe Trail.
Tell him about the Indians, Jenny.
I'm getting to that, Frank. So, Kiowas and Comanches used to raid the settlers' wagons on account of it being their land and all. Of course, white folks didn't take kindly to that. As soon as the Yanks and Rebs stopped fighting over slavery, they brought their rifles and railroads out west. First they killed the buffalo, then they went after the warriors. Without anything left to hunt, the Indians signed treaties and moved on to reservations. Texas ranchers wasted no time driving their cattle onto the native grasslands. Pa's father was a cowboy at the XIT.
It was the largest fenced ranch in the entire world.
Stop interrupting, Frank. Where was I? Oh, yeah. But then the beef bonanza went bust. Ranchers sold land cheap. The government even passed a new Homestead Act, giving farmers 320 acres to plow up. Cowboys called them sodbusters.
Our other granddaddy was one of those.
You better believe neither man was too happy when Pa asked Ma to her first rodeo. A cowboy's son with a farmer's daughter? Our parents went ahead and married anyway. Pretty soon my brothers Bill and Bud came along, and then me and my twin brother Frank were born.
I was born first.
They don't care about that. Anyway, Pa wanted to raise cattle, but Ma thought there was more money in crops. When the government started guaranteeing over $2 a bushel for wheat, well, that settled that. Farmers called it liquid gold. Times were so good, we doubled the size of our farm and bought our first tractor.
Got more cows, too.
My name is Virginia Lou, but most people call me Jenny.
And I'm Franklin Jefferson Dunn. Okay, that's enough yakking. Come on, let's show you the farm.
You all go ahead and look around the farm for a bit. Frank, I want to talk to you when you're done.
We store tractors and disc plows in this shed. We used to use horses and a lister plow, but these modern machines are much faster. There aren't many trees suited to this dry climate, but these plum trees can survive almost anywhere. When they sprout their little white flowers, we know that spring is coming.
The cows, hogs, and horses stay in this pen when they're not out in the pasture. Bill and Bud tease me all the time about being so fond of our animals.
We can keep as many as 50 hens in this chicken coop. I help Ma feed them, keep the coop clean, and sell the extra eggs at our country store.
This is our garden. Ma plants beans, potatoes, peas, tomatoes, onions, and some flowers here. Jenny and I get water from the pump to do most of the watering.
These are our fields where we grow winter wheat. I love riding the tractor at planting time. Bill and Bud are in charge of making sure the wheat doesn't get damaged by fungus or varmints.
Unlike many folks in town, we don't have plumbing, so we use this outhouse as our toilet. It gets pretty cold at night and in the winter. We don't have toilet paper, but that's what the Sears Roebuck catalog is for. Here's our house. Ma is in the kitchen and back. My parents' bedroom is up front, along with one that I share with Bill and Bud. Jenny's got her own little room. There's a sitting room, but that's only for company. This is our water pump. I fill up buckets for the livestock and for Ma to use in the kitchen. We drink it and use it for the vegetable garden too.
Final thing.
The windmill pumps water up from the ground and into the tank so we can drink and wash with it. The windmill also charges the batteries we use for the radio.
Right, time to go back.
Finished looking around the farm?
There's one more. Wait.
Finished looking around the farm?
Give me 1 second, guys.
Frank, isn't our new tractor a beaut? This'll let us expand the farm beyond your grandfather's wildest dreams. Yep, I'll make sure of it. We need to drive it plenty to get our money's worth. We borrowed the money, like we do for our other farm expenses and the mortgage on our land. It's time to start planning for next year, and you're ready to learn some new things. I mean, it's time to learn by doing. I want to see if you can run a wheat farm and earn this family a good profit while you're at it. Son, I'll tell you everything I know. All you have to do is ask. Keep in mind that farming is always a gamble. How much it rains, the price of wheat. We need both on our side. That was during the war. Nowadays, the government lets the market set the price. How should we use our land this year? Last year we did all right by using some land for animals, some for crops, and leaving some fallow. No reason we can't keep cows.
We bought more land and a new...
No reason we can't keep cows and grow wheat too. Our land is still good for grazing, and lately the price of wheat has gone down, while cows have gone up. Should we make any changes? We can buy and sell animals. We can't change planted land back to pasture. Once we bust up the pasture, to plant wheat, it's real hard to get it back to grass that the cows will eat. We want to leave some land fallow. That's what all the experts say. What's your best guess on how much rain we'll get? What do you think the price of wheat will be next year? Let's see how much money we need to borrow to pay our expenses until harvest. Last year was a good year. We made almost $4,000 in profit.
Uncle wants you, Anna.
Anna! I'm just checking on you. Are you okay?
Huh?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You got the bag out there.
Oh, you
What was it? Out there a little bit longer, then you might come in.
I'm gonna get my stuff and
Ready to come in?
my
Wait.
hand.
Well, yeah, it's been cold out there. Get you something come on in.
Let's compare our estimate to the actual harvest. Looks like prices are down, not just for wheat, but for cows and dairy too. Time to pay off our loans. And here's our profit. I'll take it to the bank. Boom times have cooled down for sure. I suppose we better plant more wheat next year to make up for the low prices. You remember our family motto, right, son?
Get them all.
Yes.
Take them, fill them up. Anything on TV you want to watch?
I don't know.
Take the boys up there, fill them up.
Where's that fucking bag?
Put them right there by the dog food.
You mean cat food?
Cat. Put the mittens over it.
Farming's harder than I thought.
Makes you tired.
Pa says we have to grow more wheat this year if we're going to make any profit.
I guess that's why I slept so
That means we'll need to plow up most of our pasture and plant on our fallow acres too.
Before 5 o'clock.
That's what our neighbors are doing, but Pa's not sure about selling our cows. And there's no way I'm letting my cow go. The whole family has been talking about what we should do.
So
Tonight we settled it.
Want me to call Dad?
We decided to.
So see if we can get some hot chocolate or something.
You don't have no more money and no more food things. Hey,
Man,
that's the way.
hot chocolate's the best.
Well, when you get the food thing.
And we're also going to.
Bigger than the one I had.
No, that's the big economy.
We'll need to borrow
They
ex-
had big sacks of it.
No. That is better. When I get mine, I'll get another one.
So that when it learns grow, we can dump the other one in that one.
It's not fair. They promised we'd visit Aunt Ruth in California this summer. They say there's too much to do around the farm. But harvest is over. It doesn't make a lick of sense.
Fed comes from fed.
I don't know what day it is right now.
In this dry spell, we're not going to be able to plant anything until there's more rain.
We used to go through the times.
Maybe it's because the harvest was so bad. They'd tell us if we didn't have any money, right? Or if the farm was in trouble. Then don't worry, Nancy Drew. I think you can call off your investigation. Yeah? What else are you planning to do? I bet you could do it. The 4-H Livestock Club's enough for me.
What are you trying to do? Get it?
How should we use our land this year?
Why don't you take that calendar down over there? And use the thumbtack roll.
I'm hearing talk that it'll be pretty dry this year.
Lay it on the freezer for right now. You hang that up in there or not? There's nowhere in here to hang it up. Let's get the thumbtack in the first.
How much do we need to borrow this year? It's hard to live on.
High. Is it in there? You're not gonna be able to get that in. Tear it up, oh. Don't tear it up.
Only 5 bushels per acre. Low yield and low prices. Paying back loans is going to be a problem for us and everyone else.
Frank's already been to the grain elevator at least 3 times. It's my turn, Pa. Look at all that wheat. Oh, and there's Mr. Mitchell. May I go say hello?
What a mess. 28 cents a bushel, that's what. See these piles of wheat? They're left over from last year. Last year, the weather was perfect. Trouble is, we ended up with more wheat than people wanted to buy. Some farmers agree with you. Problem is, I need to pay rent, and I need to grow wheat to do that. I suppose, but without rain or wheat, there's no point in us staying here. I don't like to think about it. Why don't you run along to your father now?
I'll take care of this week while you go to your 4-H club meeting. It's going to take most of the day to unload and weigh everything. Hold on. Here's a little money. Don't spend it all at once.
This is our local Ford dealer. Gosh, it seems quiet today. You're usually real busy in July because of the harvest money. This is my high school. School ended a few weeks before harvest and won't start back up until the planting is done. Seeing movies at the Loretta Theater is a special treat, but even just looking to see what's playing is nice.
Yeah, Dr. Stuff. I loved that show when I'm small. When I'm small before it's changed. But do you also like this? Yeah, but they done changed Dr. Stuffing when I got older. Even though I still love watching it.
I could go to the public library. It's in the courthouse basement and is filled with every kind of book and magazine you can imagine.
Just in time. Did you enjoy it? That's my girl. What do you mean? Well, that sounds mighty useful. Well, every cent counts these days. Let's just say that it wasn't our best year. Not by a long shot. But we're still better off than most. We'll weather this storm.
What about you back? You want to say hello?
All right, I'll be right back.
Going down the railroad track.
All right.
Your father and I are headed to town today. We're leaving momentarily. The bank closes at 5, so I reckon I'll be home in time to help you put dinner on the table. You need to take these eggs and butter to the store and trade them for coffee, baking soda, and sugar. Here are the donations to drop off at the church. You can check in the attic and see if you've outgrown your winter shoes. I'm saving Bill and Bud's shoes for Frank. Tell your brother Pa wants him to fix those shingles on the chicken coop while we're gone. And he might as well shovel out the animal pens while he's at it. Oh, make sure you keep an eye out for chicken thieves. The neighbor's coop got broken into again. All right then, we'll be back in town for dinner.
Jenny, wait till you see the recipes I found. There's pineapple upside down cake and I bet the judges will like it. We just need to get some canned pineapple. Well, sure thing, but you have to drive this time. What did you go inside the house for? Oh, that's nice of you. I couldn't really find anything good. Beats me. What are you gonna wear? That sounds like fun, but we can't even afford fabric right now. Only if you promise to help. You're much handier with a needle and thread than I am. I hate this road.
Afternoon, Jenny. Let's sort out what you brought. Now go ahead and pick what you need. I'm so sorry, Jenny, but you'll need to take... I'm afraid you're more than $1 short. Do you want to put something back or add it to what you owe? That's just fine. I've added it to what your family owes.
So did you get everything? But we still have everything we need for the baking contest, right? How do you expect us to make a cake without sugar? I'm not much in the mood for baking anyway. That would be real nice, Jenny. I hate this road.
I'll just read one more chapter before I fix the coop. I made one great effort to draw myself up the 25 feet of free-hanging cable, but halfway was my maximum. The wind caught me as I clutched the rope, blew me like a pendulum away from the cliff wall and over the sheer 5,000-foot precipice. My eyes went blind. My arms ceased to exist.
Excuse me, son. Didn't mean to scare you. Is your pa around? The name's Charlie. I was hoping to talk with whoever runs this. Nope. Though that's not the sort of thing a man announces ahead of time. I mean no harm. That's all right. All I want is something. I'm going to get the rail yards in Amarillo. I'm joining the bonus. Bet you never heard of a Hooverville either. There are some things you need to see for yourself to understand. Sure will. We soldiers earned ourselves a bonus from over 10. Son, you need. I haven't had a steady job since. Thanks.
Amelia, I'm ready for some adventure. Maybe I could ride the rails like Charlie. Don't look at me like that. It would only be for a little while. Even with Pa teaching me everything he knows about wheat, there just hasn't been any crop. There's just no rain now. Why, it's hard enough finding you a lick of grass to eat. But don't worry, girl. I'll keep you fed. somehow, we'll still win that blue ribbon.
When Ma got home, she scolded Frank for not doing his chores. I told her what happened at Mrs. Huff's. Ma understood that I put some items back so we wouldn't run up too much credit. Ma didn't like having to give up her coffee, but she said we all should be willing to do with less. The county fair and dance was a week later. We skipped the baking contest and volunteered at the Red Cross. There weren't enough donations to go around, so Thelma and I set up a donation booth at the fair. Thelma and I went to the dance in the dresses I made. I got several compliments on my thrift and skill. I hoped that it was a sign of good times ahead, but for that to be true, we were going to need rain, and lots of it.
Morning, Frank. You must have been up before dawn. You want to tell me what's on your mind? Droughts come to the plains every once in a while. Let's just hope this one doesn't stay too long. Listen, son, I'm not going to beat around the bush with you. Cows are in bad shape. Because of the drought, they're probably eating more dirt than grass. I'm not sure. With the drought, the pasture would still be dry, but maybe there'd be less dust. There's nothing else to do for them. I tried, but I couldn't even get a dime for these cows. They're too weak to make milk, and too skinny to sell as beef. Nope, I agree. Listen, son, a rifle shot is short and quick. They won't feel anything. Everyone else with cattle is up against the same fence. Not one of us is happy about it. The only right thing to do is to put that poor creature out of its misery. It's up to you, son, to decide who pulls the trigger. Sure, Frank. Sure. All right. Steady does it, girl.
Guess who got a letter today from Aunt Ruth? You'll never believe what she wrote. She's inviting me to come live with her in Los Angeles. Ma told me what happened. I'm real sorry about Amelia Earhart. Let's go into town tomorrow. We can see a movie at the Loretta. Franklin Jefferson Dunn. I've had just enough moping from you. Maybe you could visit Bill for a few days. A change of scenery would do you good. You don't think we live in the real world? This year has been plenty real for me. How much money do you reckon you can earn? It seems hard. Chicago? Isn't that where Al Capone? Now you're the one dreaming. I can't believe none I get. Are you Frank? So where is going to make you feel better? Now that's more like it. And don't forget your harmonica. One last thing. What in...
Hey, wake up! You can get in trouble for sleeping here. The sheriff likes to give young men a hard time. Last week, he tried to arrest my brother for vagrancy. He could have been deported. Yeah, can you imagine being kicked out of your own country? It's happening a lot these days. Right here in Dolhart, on the east side of town. Well, I wouldn't know them since Mexicans and gringos aren't allowed to go to school together. They live here too. But if you mean where they were born, that would be Mexico. They fled to Texas during La Revolucion. You've already missed both morning trains on the Burlington line. Well, every train goes in two directions, right? The Burlington line runs northwest and southeast. They seem to be all over. I hear there's a big one in St. Louis, Missouri. Just about every railroad goes there. Listen, I better get back to work before my boss sees me. Are you going to be okay? One more thing. Not everybody takes kindly to hobos, even if they're white. All I mean is you're riding the rails. There's no shame in trying your luck somewhere else.
That's why I saw somebody walk past our woman. I said I swore I saw somebody walk past.
right.
You wanted to sit up. You wanted to sit up.
The only person who owes me or my family anything is back in Arkansas, born and raised. It looks like I'll be laying down the rest somewhere else. I'm trying to find work so I can buy train tickets to Los Angeles. Even a Jim Crow train would be better for my family than. I appreciate you telling me. My wife, most white folks in the South have. I'm Hope Edward, a pleasure.
I'll be right back, guys. See the map real quick. Where do I need to go? I need to go up to Clinton. Where did I go? St. Louis. See map again. Go to St. Louis. There's another mission there too, so oh, there's just ride the rails again. So we're supposed to go Clinton. Tomorrow. Night falls. Alright, let's see.
No. I just wanted to know. This one fit like this.
Day 18. Let's see what the hobo.
Go.
3 days already. Let me just go use the restroom real quick. We'll go down to St. Louis. Chicago. Chicago will do. Check the map. Let's check.
Don't need that on it. Not in here. Don't need that on that. Get hot in here, Jim. Just for 5 minutes, and that's it.
Okay, I'm trying to some more work to do. Let's go ahead and next. Okay, so what do we got? What do we do? Oh, we have to look in the map.
Ah!
In about an hour, you put stuff like that again.
Denver, really? Not a long way to go.
Try typing that one there. If you would try up and down, make it say hi.
Day 24. Oh man, I no longer have any injuries. Now I'm happy. I'm really happy now. So let's see. Let's see the map.
Raise that up on Friday.
All right, go to Denver for the next. Denver. Go. Wait, so what? Stupid. What? That bull. Yeah, so that bull doesn't come back. The bull didn't come back. He gave up. Let's try to find somewhere to eat. Okay. I'm about to survive for 30 days. Oh my goodness. These bulls are so aggressive. Let's go to Nashville. Let's see what they have. Okay. Cool, man. These hobos are really nice. Cincinnati Urban there. 30 days on the road, on the rails. That is impressive. Now, I'm supposed to go for this one.
Ah!
Please. Map. Okay, and Memphis. Wait. Gotta check again. Okay, we can go down to Nashville. Good. So, we're one step close. Please no. Okay, good. I just didn't need any railroad bulls attacking me. Go ahead and king of the road. I actually managed to survive for over 30 days on the rails.
Jenny, shut that door behind you. As if we don't have enough cold air blowing through here already. My heavens. Frank, that really you, or is my mind playing tricks again? Look at you. You're all skin and bones. In that case, you can give me a hand with these potatoes. Frank, we've all been pretty blue. Promise you'll never leave without talking it over with us first. Well, dinner is almost ready. We better call everyone in. This is going to be one interesting meal.
I could have spent the whole night eating, but as soon as I sat down, Jenny started right in. Did I go to Chicago? Who did I meet? Where did I sleep? I told about all I had seen and done and everyone who had helped me, except the parts that would have scared Mom. Bill and Bud pretended not to pay any mind, but when I told them about the bulls, they couldn't help themselves. Bill got real curious about the Hoover bills, and Bud asked if I met any bank robbers or gangsters. Pa shook his head and seemed downhearted to hear that so many people were without homes or jobs. I had just about run out of stories when Ma told us to hush, and Pa turned up the radio dial. It was almost Election Day, and Governor Roosevelt had given a speech about why folks should elect him. Pa didn't see how a rich man from New York could do any better than President Hoover, but Ma said, Roosevelt's got brains and the guts to use them.
Alright. I gotta go use the restroom. I'm back, guys. Next. Part 4.
Ma got it pretty right.
As usual.
President Roosevelt said,
that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
What he meant was that people needed to stay calm and let the government get to work.
In the first 100 days, Roosevelt and his brain trust regulated the banks, launched an emergency relief program, and created other programs too. The tough part was keeping track of everything. With so many New Deal government programs, folks started calling it Roosevelt's alphabet soup.
And worse things than that. The president got called a communist, socialist, fascist, and other names too.
Alright.
But most of us saw how hard he was trying to put people back to work and money in their pockets. Relief offices started popping up in town, and everyone perked up when they heard about the Agricultural Adjustment Act. The AAA gave farmers money to plant fewer crops. Ma thought I'd do a better job than Pa at understanding the fine print, so she asked me to figure out how we could sign up. Of course, nothing the president did ended the Depression. 1 out of every 4 Americans still didn't have a job.
As for the drought, that just got worse.
Jenny, bring me another bucket of water for these tomato plants. That's the spirit. It's like the president says, patience and cooperation will see us through these hard times. You can say that again. If you hadn't helped Pa figure out how to enroll in that program, we might have lost the farm. Well, I'm still scratching my head at the notion of farmers getting paid not to farm. I know the government is trying to raise prices by reducing the supply of crops. I only wish there were programs for everyone. Between the drought and depression, people are suffering mightily. Your brothers, for starters. They've been in a dark spell all summer. We'll use some of the AAA money to buy a few calves. Frank can help us pick out another ribbon winner. Don't start in on California again. 17 is still too young for Frank, or you for that matter, to go out there alone. Well, if there was, I guess we'd be all right with letting him go for a while. It's fine by me if you go today, but you should talk to Frank first.
There's still nothing for me to do here. I wish I could leave home again and help our family. Does President Roosevelt have a program for that? So, what'd you find out? Pa already signed us up for the AAA, the Civilian Conservation Corps. I like the sound of that one. This is amazing. I'd get to help nature, live in the wilderness, and make money? Wait a minute. It says here you have to be 18. So, did you learn anything about the age requirement? That's okay. I can wait until I'm 18 to enroll in the CCC.
How'd it go with Frank? Were you able to help him any? Did you try your best? Next time, ask for help at the relief office. Yes, you should see who. I'm afraid I'm going to have to sell this. This assistance will be a real help to me. I can't live off of. Did you learn anything new? Did you learn anything new? I canceled my subscription months ago. Why? Was there something that would help me keep my store? I'm glad the government. I sure will be sad to leave this place.
Do you think tenant farmers are covered by the the Federal Emergency Relief Act? You mean the government assistance program? You mean they give handouts? I'd never be able to face my family and neighbors if I went on the dole. Thanks. Did you learn anything? I'd much rather earn a pay. Lord knows the roads here need work. People need jobs. Thank you, Jenny. I needed some good.
I was born in Dollheart. My family really needs help. None of us can get a job. But will the government? Not this week. What does it say? That's very interesting, but I don't see what this has to. Did you learn anything? This is terrible. Thank you for trying to help, but I think I need to.
Jenny, you must be. So tell me how it went. Better one than none, if you ask me.
Thanks to still.
And the roads are
Now,
Moving today, they duck letters from home.
I took a chance. I had no document for the next. Finally, I got a letter from my old boss saying I was a citizen. I went back to the relief office and was able to.
As soon as I turned 18, now I'm here, most enrolled. We sleep at the camp and then do calisthenics. At least we can choose how to spend our evenings. The camp Mom and Pa miss me, but
thanks to President Roosevelt.
Hurry! Hurry! Now get inside! Put the chickens in the coop!
$188. Where you going to do? Lay on the bed.
Dear Jenny, your letter.
Your pal Tony has done it again. Are you ready for the end? You know they're splitting us up, right? Well, let's just say I haven't. Now you're talking. I have a plan. It's a soil conservation. You'd be able to. Heck, if I. It's not like California. You ever hear of a place? You know it's. All right. So I thought we should go to the same place so we can. The CEO is. Tell him about how we can celebrate at the dance tonight. Come on. We don't want to miss.
Top teams, all the. I knew we.
So, Frank, how do you think we should do this? Sounds good to me. But what do I know about shingles? Hey, you want me to go take a look at what the other teams are doing? Yeah, let's show them who's the king of shingles around here.
We were going great guns. Another guy, Joe, looked a little green and said he felt faint. I told him to. It looks like the heat was getting to him. Even I tried to inspire the guys to give one last push. So
Everybody knows who's going to win it.
we finished. Whatever I did worked because we finished first. The CEO came out for the photo to congratulate us. I told him right then and there about my dream of going to California. Before we left.
I bet you a dime I'll be on the dance. Okay, see that girl over there? She and I are going to be doing the Lindy Hop before you. Hold on. Maybe now is not such a good time. Look, if I'm not mistaken, and say what? Frank, take it from a city kid.
I walked toward him. Tony told him that he had. I looked at him. They didn't. We were at least. I'm pretty. He could have. I'll be up. It's lights out here.
Hey.
Dear Frank, Mom, the Mitchell's truck was piled a mile. We drove south on our second the highway. We managed to pull over.
There's a garage nearby, but it's going to cost more than. That's real nice of you, Jenny. But it's not enough. There's some cotton farm labor is the only way. Jenny, there's no way you'd be another. My parents say you can send a telegram. Everything's going to be fine.
It was going. The sun was. I saw the only. She didn't. Then she. Her assistant after Mr.
Alright, skip all that.
Are you sure you can handle this wagon? The gearbox can be a little tricky. In that case, this should be a piece of cake. The roads don't truly get awful until we're further south. Imperial Valley, it's just across the border. You might feel differently when we get there. I'm a photographer. I've been assigned to document migrant workers. I do. We're documenting the poor working. That's where you're from, right? Ah, the land. No, I'll tell you more on the way. That was the general idea, wasn't it?
During the drive, I told Miss Lang about Aunt Ruth and my plan to sign up for the National Youth Administration. She knew all before we had the plan. Final the valley when we arrived at.
Usually I like to speak with. Many are from Mexico. The border is only 20 or so miles from here. But there are That's what some people are calling the Dust Bowl refugees from places like Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. Many are making their way to California. I think I'll start with those 2 men. Do you have any other questions about what you see? During harvest, they work from sunup to sundown. Peas today. They also pick, but they are strong and work. Now, look again. So, what are you thinking? I'm glad you sympathize with the workers, but your personal... Well, let's try. Do you have any questions about what you're looking at? There's no clean water. It looks like one half... I'm not... Oh, there are no... So how would you describe this photograph? Yes, it's your home. You'll see things...
I know Miss Lane could tell.
It looks like they're here to make sure... No, the same thing it does, but that's because the government is building... They have clean water. The best... Maybe one day you can visit...
What about that one of you in your uniform?
I like this one better.
I'm the photography expert.
Okay, the epilogue. This is the end.
Yeah, no, let's keep running over the duck stop with some more in it. Let's keep running over now.
Yep, and that's the end, guys. I really enjoyed this. Okay, advisors. Alright. Okay, this is websites, I think. Alright. And guys, that's the end of Up From the Dust. That also means end of the live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye.